Eneas Naiene with another video. Now we are with our third week related to our YouTube series about studying like at FZT at home. The main topic for this week will be the project 1. But first I would like to remember that this series has another version on my Patreon where I cover this topic with more details. In addition, you'll receive the entire footage from the beginning until the end of my process doing this project and the other videos that are already uploaded. And if you are new into the channel, consider liking the video, subscribing. To learn more, you can go to the description. You'll find the links for my Patreon, Instagram, Discord server, and more. With that, we can start to talk about our main topic, the project 1. At this moment, I'm assuming that you already watched the previous videos. I'm talking about the week 1 and week 2 to be able to do and understand what I want to cover on this video of the week 3. As a way to do a basic recap, let's go to the week 1. Our main focus there was about line calligraphy 1, 2, and 3 vanishing point perspectives. After that, we moved to the week 2, where the topics was ellipse, shadow projection, and mirroring. So for this week, we'll use the knowledge from the previous one. I'm talking specifically about the line part 1, 2, 3 vanishing point. On the week 2, we will use a little bit of ellipse, shadow projection, not at all. And when I was talking about mirroring on the week 2, I explained it a few methods that or techniques that we'll use, like dividing, multiplying, mirroring, dimensions, and perspective. So this will be important to put in practice on this project 1. For me, one of the important things to take in mind while doing a project first is to have a plan. I'm not pretending to say this is mandatory or something like that, because as an artist you can do the things that you want in the order that you want, but having a basic plan to all of the things that you will do, it's important. And you will understand the thing that I'm talking about here on the end of the video, because I will talk about a little bit about the issues that I faced when I tried to go out of my plan. So our goal with this project is to create two visual representation of a game console or another electronic device. Like if you want to do this with a mobile phone, a portable PC, a desk PC, yeah, you can do whatever you want. The idea is to explore a tricorder view and an exploded view of the same object, maintaining the properties and all the characteristics of the object or the equipment. The plan that I was talking about is described here on the instructions. We can see that we have like 4 parts, like part 0 orthographic views, part 1 tricorder view, part 2 exploded view, and part 3 rendering digitally or traditionally. So as a disclaimer, I didn't really follow this order. I started like doing 0, then 2, then 1, and then I moved to 3. The idea is not to like try to go from 0 to 3. Like first you have to do 1 or 2 to be able to do that. And about rendering, I didn't manage to do the rendering in time, so I just placed flat colors and all the stuff, and I discovered a thing that my main monitor has a different color setting. This thing made me like yeah, have like a bunch of muddy colors, and you can see on the final image of the project. But I already managed to fix it. I changed all the settings of the colors and color balance and all the stuff. So now I'm able to see, and I will always like double check on the other monitors to make sure that yeah, I'm drawing the right stuff and I'm painting the right color. The first thing that I did was to start with the orthographic views. So the first thing is to define the view. We need to include at least 3 orthographic views, like front, side, and top view. You can use like grids to ensure alignment and consistency between the views. Like I basically did a grid using the rectangle, then I started using the techniques of dividing and multiplying dimensions to make sure that okay, all is in place. After that, you can move to a base sketch. I normally start by drawing the silhouette of the equipment, making sure that all is correct. Then I start working inwards, like adding details such as buttons, ports, logs, and ventilation slots. With all of these in place, I can start cleaning the equipment, like drawing the final line. And you can see on the recording on the background that I did the same thing for each view, like, and you can see that I have more than 3 views because I found quite interesting to have all these views to see literally what's happening. After that, we have part 1 related to 3-quarter view. Like I said previously, I didn't manage to do this on the order, so my part of 3-quarter view I did on the ending of the project. But let's talk about this. So the first thing to do is to choose equipment that will be represented. Again, if you want to go to a game console, remote control, headset, keyboard, mobile phone, yeah, you can do anything. The next point is to look for visual reference to understand the shape of the object, the proportion, details. And I used a software called PureRef to organize the references. It's a standard software used on the industry, so if you want, you can go and yeah, use this software. It's really nice and it's simple and easy to understand and easy to manage and do all the stuff. So use PureRef. It's nice software. When I was searching for reference, I used as a source like Pinterest, Google Images, and I used diagrams from sites that like fixes electronic devices, and I also used the official channel, like the Valve channel, where I was watching a video of disassembly of the Steam Deck. So yeah, always use real reference to make sure that you are not missing anything on your references. After that, you can start like drafting the basic 3-quarter view, like drawing a simple cube. Inside the cube, you can start like shaping the equipment, like drawing the front view, the side view, and all the stuff. If you already have the orthographic view, doing this thing in perspective is just translating those views to the perspective. After that, you add the details, the characteristics of the equipment, like we did on the orthographic views. It's basically doing the same thing, but now you are doing the thing in perspective and adding a little bit of volume and yeah, all these details. With all of this established, you can move to like cleaning the sketch and do a base shading and rendering. So again, I didn't cover this part of rendering. I just placed like flat colors, a little bit of grayscaling, and then yeah, I added a flat color on top just to yeah, the focus wasn't to render. Our second point here is the exploded view. Yeah, to be fair, I spent like maybe 3.5 days just on this specific point because I had to do a lot of thinking to make sure that all the things was lining together. The first thing that I did was separation of the components, like identifying the main parts of the equipment. For example, the upper housing, the motherboard, the buttons, internal cables. I didn't draw a lot of cables. I just drew cable on the region of the analog. So yeah, and again, use real photos or diagram as a reference to understand the internal organization of the object. So make sure to use reference, like a real reference, because at this moment you don't know how to draw the thing. You need a strong reference to be able to deconstruct the object and then reconstruct and do another thing that you want, like creating your own object or something like that. With all of this in mind, I move it to start to planning the composition. So I basically drew the basic structure in perspective. Like I extended cube in perspective. Inside the cube, I separated the pieces in different layers. I'm not talking about like layers inside the drawing software. I'm talking about, okay, this piece is in front of this part, that other a piece is a little bit behind. I can move a little bit higher to the side or something like that. So I'm talking about layers of placement inside the environment. Then with all of this established, I move it to start adding details. So I already had my basic layerings over there. So the idea was to put more details and go to a little bit near to the final product. So I started adding details, like refining a little bit the views, the details of the object, drawing small details like where the screws will be attached and all this stuff. After that, I started thinking about the connection between the parts. Okay, making sure that the thing that I'm drawing is well placed on the environment, and if I try to connect with the other thing, will make sense, and all this stuff. So you can do this assignment or task digitally, traditionally. You can use the same logic. The difference is that on traditional media, you need to literally make sure that all is lining. On the other end, on a digital media, you can literally move the object around. You can use different layers, so it's more flexible. After that, I move it to finishing, like highlighting the parts with thicker outlines or colors to distinguish. But the main part here was about the thicker outlines, making sure that the line weight was working well, drawing each detail. A lot of details over here nobody will see, but I found quite interesting to make sure that I was drawing all the things. Yeah, but on the future I will try to find like simple designs where I can simplify a lot of things. But here we had like a lot of details, pieces that are tiny. So yeah, again, I was literally putting effort on making sure that all was on place. So at this point, I was like, okay, I already have the basic idea. I had left like 1.5 days to like end my week. So I was like, okay, now I can render this, or maybe I can add another thing. So I decided to, instead of focusing on the rendering, I focused on adding another thing to the drawing. So I decided to draw a case for the Steam Deck. So I drew basically the case first, then I decided to draw another version where the case is inside, and I drew a version where I had like a 3/4 view of the case. Like I said previously, at first I did like orthographic, then exploded, then I moved to 3/4. So this is the point where I started drawing like the 3/4 view, and I also drew the basic idea of the charger. So at this moment I was just chilling, trying different ideas, different things, making sure that I was drawing a thing that makes sense with the object, like okay, how this object would fit inside this, why we have this, why we have that. And also I was using reference of a real case, so yeah, I wasn't inventing a new thing, I was just adapting to my specific scenario. After that, I just decided to place flat colors, adding a little difference in grayscaling. Again, my monitor, yeah, I discovered that my monitor has a different color, so this was literally surprising to me. Like, I already knew that okay, I have difference in colors, because when I was trying to like take a photo of my Clip Studio to the other monitor, I was like, damn, this color is so different. But was things that okay wasn't evident on the moment and didn't make like a big difference. But on this specific project, yeah, the thing made a big difference, huge difference. So yeah, I already managed to fix it and make sure that this will not happen again. And if the color is strange, I would try to put on the other monitor again, just to double check the things. So as a disclaimer and overview of my week 3 studying life at FZD at home, what I have like as a takeaway to you is to make sure that your plan is 100% established, looking forward to the deadline. So you can see that I had like 1.5 day where I could focus on rendering, but I decided to add a new thing that wasn't on the plan, and this new thing made like the entire difference for sure. I think that gives the project more personality. But on the other hand, I waste like the entire time to render on this, and I ended with a like flat coloring, muddy coloring, and all this stuff. So yeah, make sure that the things that are on your plan are looking or taking in consideration the deadline that you have to deliver the project. So I'm being rigorous with my deadline. So if it's 1 week, I'm doing the thing in 1 week. No more days, no less days, like exactly 1 week. The other point is to make sure that the reference that you are using are literally good references. Like, always search from real references, and like, yeah, good references. Like, don't grab like random references that you would not use exactly. So make sure that yeah, the reference that you are using directly connected or will help you on your creative process, not just grabbing reference to grab. So I think that I spent like 1 hour or yeah, searching for reference, searching for diagrams, and I wasn't fixated on like enthusiastic references or all the stuff. Like, this a simple reference that will help me to achieve my goal. Yeah, basically, yeah, this is all the things that I have to say about this, about the week 3. I learned a lot. I faced a lot of troubles. I had to draw for long periods of time, like drawing for 10 15 hours. I was sleeping like for 4-5 hours per day. I was literally grinding. On the ending of the week, I was like, bro, yeah, I need to stay like 1 day without drawing like drawing, talking about projects. Like, when you start to do like projects, the thing is different. Like, drawing for fun, I continued drawing for fun, but I wasn't able to like start a complex project. Like, okay, let me draw some specific thing with a specific theme. Bro, I was like, bro, I just want to chill, make my gesture drawings, make my figure drawing studies. yeah, drawing random things, not drawing like crazy projects. So yeah, it's a lot of pressure, and this is what can I say, is a horizon spending, like I don't know how to pronounce this in English or how to spell, but it's basically I'm opening new doors on the field of art. I'm uncovering new lands, like okay, this is the other side of the wall. So yeah, was tough, but yeah, it was excited. I learned a lot, and I think that you will also learn a lot based on the thing that I'm sharing here. And if you want the completed explanation, you can go to my Patreon. I have a video where I was talking about this specific theme. In addition, you will be able to see the entire recording of the process for the week 3 and for the previous weeks and the following one. So yeah, thank you for watching this video until this point. If I helped you, consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and also hit the bell so you'll be notified about new updates. Consider going to my Patreon, and if you play Fortnite or any other game on the Epic Game Store, consider using my creator code tag Eneas 23. This will help me a lot. So thank you, bye bye, until the next one.